Hi guys. Set up an Instagram Live, and then I'll be a little bit more chatty. Good evening. I have to go grab my fiber for the evening, and then I'll be right back. And Nick will be joining me, so I will wait for him before I actually start spinning. So today is day 6 of the base 12 Spinalong. The day 6 fiber is a pale yellow dyed on gray merino silk. So this is very similar in color to the primary yellow that was day 1. But because this is dyed on a gray background, when it spun up, it actually turns a little olive green because of the mix of the yellow and the black. So this marks the halfway point for the base 12 spin along. So we're almost there. What? I'm talking to the fine people of the internet.
Fine people of the internet.
Yes, only the fine people of the internet.
Only the finest join us.
Yes. Beautiful nerds. And I need my other beautiful nerd to sit on this couch and to roll his die.
And roll my die.
So Nick is doing the random barbacoa version of the spin along. So
yeah. All right. It's a number I can't say what it is. So no spoilers. It's a pretty one though. Go. Okay.
I have a woman messaging me about fleece.
You say that as if the woman is the important part and not the fleece.
The fleece is the important.
Okay. You are again too far to the right for your Insta space.
Snuggle up to you.
Sounds good.
Am I close enough?
Yep. Are we doing a race this time or not?
We're doing whatever you want.
So you're going to let me win? That's what we're going to do? That's what
I can let you win. That's what you want.
Let's see. Who's Leslie Buff?
I don't know. Should we press the button and see what happens?
Let's see who it is. This is mysterious.
Who is Leslie? It's a black screen.
It's a black screen, yeah. Were we butt dialed?
Possibly because I think sometimes Instagram wants you to join other people. And you maybe don't actually understand what's going on.
Or it might just be a very dark room.
It could be.
All right. Should we exit out?
Yeah. I don't think that was intentional.
That's okay. We still feel loved.
If they ask again, then we'll assume it's intentional.
It's the buddiest of dials. All right.
I have friends that video chat me all the time.
Really?
Yeah. And they always apologize.
I've only ever been butt dialed by my father. All right, so we are doing different fibers today.
But you're doing one I did before, right?
Nope.
No?
No. Either you packed my bags wrong or no.
Yeah, because you already spun the pale pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I like this one. This one's nice.
So we're both spinning the same base tonight, so it's a fair fight.
Oh, it's the same base, different colors.
Yeah, all the hand dyed is the same base.
But blue is the blue purple is at a higher energy wavelength than yours, so it'll go faster.
I don't think dyed fiber works like that, my love. The thickness is not blue.
So Jill is making reference to a situation that I had at my previous job. So I used to work at a solar cell manufacturing company called Solar Power Industries, and I started off in the R&D group, and within 3 months they disbanded the R&D group. So that was not fun for me. But I stayed along in the manufacturing so that I could learn a little bit about how manufacturing for semiconductor devices was done, and hopefully have that education apply to my later activities, which I think has been pretty helpful. But anyways, on to the thickness is blue. So one of my activities there was running something called a Plasma Enhanced Chemical Vapor Deposition Machine, or PCVD for short. This is something that uses a basically controlled lightning in order to energize some reactive gases and apply those gases onto a material. In this case, it was silicon solar cells. It was being used to create a optical absorbing layer. And it ends up making the solar cells this very pretty blue. But the color is dependent on the thickness. And so I got to give a little bit of scientific background for that. I apologize in advance if I start making people's heads explode. But the short version is we all know light acts like a wave sometimes, right? So if you think of a guitar string, as you shorten the guitar string or lengthen the guitar string, it's going to change the sound. Same thing with light, right? So if I change the resonance of that light particle, if I change how it's vibrating, like you are changing a guitar string, it's going to change its sound. But with light, the wavelength and the frequency that it moves at isn't sound, it's color. So when you change the thickness of this clear material, it's so thin, it actually causes the light to vibrate at a certain wavelength dependent on the thickness, and you can tell the thickness based on the color. And so when I was asking for specifications at that job about exactly what thickness we should apply for the optimum solar cell to be made, I didn't get an answer in terms of nanometers or angstroms or microns or anything. No, they told me it should be blue. At which point I asked, okay, can you at least give me a Pantone color or something? A color swatch from Home Depot? Nope, it's just blue. So
any blue will do.
No, it was the particular type of blue, but they didn't want to give me anything to match it up to except for other solar cells. So I remember
just
for
do
a
what they did before.
Yeah, well, they had like framed solar cells that they were like, yeah, match up to this, but it looks different behind the glass. So just try and do your best. So I ended up changing that pretty quickly once I started.
You figured out what thickness was blue.
Yeah. So now we constantly have the joke in the family that the thickness is blue. So that was an incredibly nerdy deviation. But as Jill said, you are all the beautiful nerds of the internet. Hopefully you are still conscious, your heads have not exploded, and I have not put you to sleep. Right?
Something like that.
Something like that. So, get into my relaxed position here.
Whereas I still have to have good posture.
There were so many things I was going to mention today, and I completely forgot all of them as I sat down. I was like, all throughout the day, I'm like, oh yeah, this will be great to talk about during the podcast. And nothing. I'm a blank slate right now. I blame the beer.
Mm.
We went out shopping today.
It's awful to go Christmas shopping with kids, or to go shopping during the month of December with children in tow.
Well, yeah, because every store is intended to be like, hey, buy me, buy all this stuff. And there's the expectation that any of this stuff could be purchased at any point in time. So, still, walking through the toy aisle is something I like to do for myself. So I end up torturing myself in the process.
And I ordered a bunch of wool today.
You did order a bunch of wool. That's right. And you were talking about. I think that was one of the things you wanted to talk about. How the interesting observations you've had about the type of fiber that you've sold over the year.
Yeah. So there's been some changes with my main supplier for my custom blends, and because of that, and to try to keep things affordable for everybody, I've had to switch to making larger batches of my custom blends, and that.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. More fiber.
Well, it kind of means that there's a limited amount of space I have to store everything.
Yeah.
So and also I've basically realized, I really shouldn't have more than what I can bring to a show. And since I've started dyeing yarn takes up space, so I don't bring as much fiber to shows. So I'm trying to reduce the number of blends I carry at any one time, because there was a point where there would be about 75 different blends you could buy for me at any given time. I'm trying to get that number down to 50. And it's hard. But there's a lot of blends that are being discontinued. So if there's something you like in the shop right now, get it before it is no longer going to be with us.
Are there any things that you are willing to reveal that you're planning on discontinuing?
So, well, all the road trip blends are getting discontinued. So that's Rhinebeck, Maryland Sheep and Wool, Super Summer Knit Together, Shenandoah Valley, Indie Knit and Spin. I'm phasing out some of the Pittsburgh blends, so like Jagoff, and Supernatural, and some of the others are going to eventually get discontinued, but I have a very healthy stock of them. I'm probably my flax blends, I think I'm going to be moving those all to hand-dyed versions of flax blends. So I'll still be having the Polwart Tussa flax, and I'm going to bring in, I'm going to start dyeing the cream-colored Ponies base, which is a Shetland Tussa flax blend. So those are the main things. And then some blends that have just been around for a long time are probably going to go on sabbatical for a little bit, just so I have the space to introduce new things.
Yeah, because we want to keep things a little bit fresh. Obviously, there's a lot of our staples. Bowie is going to stick around, but you're reducing the number of colors.
I'm reducing the number of colors of Bowie.
And there's stuff that we've retired before that we should probably bring back at some point in time. I think we should revisit the cocktails collection. That's been a while.
Yeah. So I ordered 6 of my signature blends today, and then some luxury fibers and a couple different colors of sari silk. So, but those won't arrive till January. And then I'm trying to figure out what my yarns are going to be, because I'm discontinuing a couple of my yarn bases. So Ivory Tower is going away. which is a superfine merino and baby camel blend, fingering weight, and Gifted, which is a superwash merino. But I have...
The Gifted's going on.
Yeah, well, I'm going to replace it with starting to dye double major.
Okay.
In as variegates and tonals and not just gradients.
You got to give it a different name.
It'll be Superwash Target Sport.
Okay.
But Gifted and double major knit up at the same gauge.
If you're going to, you know what you really should do? Going with the whole collegial theme, you should really call your sport weight yarn Varsity.
Oh, that would be a good. I should see if anybody else uses Varsity. So that's sports.
Sports ball. That's the other thing you call it. Sports ball. Where you make the goals with the pucks and the free throws.
But I think I've basically decided I'm going to stick to yarn bases that are for fiber nerds and yarn nerds. Not necessarily the softest yarn in the land, but good, reliable yarns. Because that's the yarn I want to work with.
I'm going to try and do a long draw.
Yeah, I'm kind of somehow started spinning from the fold.
See, you made fun of me for that the other day.
Well, it's just how fast my wheel is going. I can't keep up with the speed of it if I'm doing short forward draws. So, like, the only way to keep up with the speed of the wheel is to find a faster way to draft, and that always gets me to a long draw.
Uh-huh.
I could, set up my wheel so that it wasn't going so fast. That would be an option.
Speed? No, that's never an option.
This wheel just does light speed it so well.
It's not your fastest wheel, though, right?
Skuld is my fastest wheel. Skuld is my Ashley, my Jensen Ashley, with a 30-inch drive wheel. And I have a high-speed whirls for it, so it goes up to 1:30 ratio. But this one gets close.
Would this wheel be able to handle a larger wheel? Larger drive wheel?
If you found something other than a wheel trail wheel?
Yeah. Or like an off-roading wheelchair wheel.
No. Custom wheel.
They exist.
We're just going to start hacking wheels. Yeah. We've already started. I'm starting to think about... Well, we hacked the bearings, Ashley with the bearings. We put Delrin bearings on the Ashley.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to make some Magikraft bobbins that have bearings in them.
Oh, wait. Am I supposed to put a different bobbin today?
No,
today's
tomorrow.
Day 6. Tomorrow
Today's Day 6.
Do I have a free bobbin? Or do we need to wind off of this?
No, I have a free bobbin. I brought it down for you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I take care of you. I warp your looms. I make sure you have bobbins.
You spoil me.
I do.
So, maybe we talk about why I was almost freaking out there for a second. So, I missed day 4 to be able to do
a 3-ply.
A 3-ply. So now I've got to split up. Since I don't want to do a chain ply, since I'm doing this randomized thing, I want to get the neat barber bowling. I need to be able to.
You could wind off the last 2 days onto a storage bobbin.
Good.
And still do a 3-ply, and then we could have my chain ply and your 3-ply barber pole. And since we're spinning at about the same wraps per inch, we could combine them into a single finished object.
It would be so adorable, but then we'd have to fight each other over who gets to wear it.
We already fight each other over who gets to wear the knitwear.
There is no fight over who gets to wear the knitwear. You just take the things I knit because you like them and they fit you better.
But I return them.
You were
wearing your Marled Mania the other day.
Did you wear that too?
I wear that all the
Oh
time.
my god. I didn't know
Very little of your knitwear is safe.
that.
Hats are safe because your head is so gosh darn big.
Yeah.
And I don't wear your sweater vests. And there's one or two of your sweaters I don't wear.
Oh my. I did not even know such a thing.
And I don't wear your gloves or fingerless mitts because you have freakishly large hands compared to mine.
I do have freakishly large hands.
Whereas I have small hands. So.
Let's see, 12-foot Dave saying
Hacker's
ludicrous
gonna hack.
speed and hacker's gonna hack. That is very true.
Oh, I've got something we need to try to make.
What is that?
Ring distaff for spindle spinning.
Yeah. You we met the lady who's doing the
Yeah.
that,
Well, and there's an article in Spinoff talking about modern interpretations of, ancient tools.
we're thinking about doing laser cut versions of that.
Well, I think it'd be
It's pretty
really
easy to
easy to
do.
put one together with using a carbon fiber shaft and then 3D printing some attachments.
Yeah.
For
now
the
that
ring
I
part
finally
and
figured
the-
out how to get my 3D
and the
printer
top.
working.
Yeah, now that you have a fairly reliable 3D printer.
Oh, the other thing that I did yesterday to it, or the other day to it, to make it work better was I oiled it all.
Always lubricate. Proper lubrication helps anything that moves.
But yeah, I've been. Let's see, I think I have 6. What do I call them? Blocks of Beskar
Yeah.
ready. So I'm over halfway done.
Do you
with all
almost
of them.
have enough for a
A Camtono. A
Yeah.
Camtono of Beskar.
Yeah.
Is what you're looking for? Yes. We just need to dump them in the ice cream machine. Take a picture.
Yeah.
We are letting our nerd flag fly here.
nothing wrong with that?
Extra points to anybody who actually got all those references. Looking at you, Dave. You should at the very least get that. We can have somebody say I got that reference, and that'll be another reference that they should get.
Mhm.
Wait.
I should slow down.
Why? Because
So
we got to
letting you
take
win.
45 minutes?
And I'm letting you
No,
win.
you shouldn't let me win. We're
I'm also really
I'm just
excited to talk
enjoying-
about
what?
obtaining this fleece.
Oh, that you're going to chat with somebody online?
Yeah.
So what is this fleece you're so excited about?
So at Maryland Sheep and Wool this past year, I bought I forget if I bought just 1 or 2 Romney fleeces from this one farm. And oh my gosh, it was the best thing ever. I was buying fleece specifically for a fleece to shawl competition. And so I needed something that would be easy to spin in the grease, really clean, and ideally, didn't require really any prep. And I got this coated Romney fleece, and it was heaven. And because it was so easy to spin, we stopped spinning for our shawl with like an hour and a half to go out of a 3-hour competition. So and we still had tons of leftover because it was just so easy to spin. And so I got in touch with the shepherdess afterwards, and I was like, so how do I get a fleece for next year? And she's like, well, we shear in December. So she just put up her fleeces for this year. So I'm buying 4 fleece to shawl, and then I convinced somebody else in my fiber group that they needed fleece from this farm. So they picked out a fleece. And then there's the possibility of getting a partial year fleece from the sheep that I got last year.
Nice.
Um,
So you're going to do another fleece to shawl with it? Is that the intention?
maybe there's another fleece that I'm probably going to. Apparently, Hannah did not want to wear her coat this year, so her fleece is a little bit more messy this year. But there's a similar, or no, Maryland. Maryland was the fleece I got last year. Maryland didn't want to wear a coat this year. But Hannah is a very similar fleece. And so I've already reserved Hannah. But I've been using that fleece in bats in the shop, and it's wonderful fiber. You know, it's even better once it's scoured. It's a really soft Romney. Sometimes Romney gets a bad name, but these are really quality fleeces for hand spinners.
What's the name of the farm?
It's Misty Rose Farm in Cecil County in Maryland. And they, like, at the Maryland State Fair, they won, like, Best Romney Fleece. And they're doing a really good job. It's really...
Yeah, so definitely...
I don't usually buy fleece sight unseen. I usually wait to go to fleece sales at fiber festivals. But I trust this shepherdess to be producing good fleece.
So definitely, if you're looking for a fleece, that's one place you can go, but don't fight us for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll catch you.
I already have my holds on the fleeces I want. Okay. I would buy her entire clip if I didn't already have so much fleece. But I finished off a fleece today, so I have to buy another fleece at Maryland.
Yeah, you have to.
It's for the Diamond Cowls prep kit that just came out in Ply.
Yeah.
So there's a design in the Ply prep issue that I did spinning for. It's the Diamond's Cowl by Tanis Gray. And so I'm selling kits so that you can match what's in the magazine. And I put together 6 kits today, and I'm almost out of the dark gray border Leicester fleece that I use in that.
Oh, wow.
So I can only make up 1 or 2 more kits with what I have.
Yeah, makes it similar.
I'll have to, yeah. I have some other dark gray fleeces. I have some other dark gray Romney. So I might make up a bat and see how similar it is, but the Romney is more lustrous and smooth and not as lofty as the Border Leicester. Okay. So I don't, like, I have some BFL, but it's not, it has a lot of VM in it. So, and I still have some white Border Leicester. I really like the Border Leicester for mixing with commercial merino. So, and I got that at Maryland Chicken Bowl. So I just might have to be on the hunt for another.
It's gonna be a while. Maryland's not very soon.
I know. I might have to see. I'm actually going to double check the places that the shepherdess has, because she has some Border Leicester. I don't know if she has some gray. She might just only have a Border Leicester cross that's gray. So I've got to look at the fleece structure and see if it's similar to what I've been using. Because there's a lot of variability in Border Leicester.
Why don't you talk about that?
Can I, like, not talk for like 5 minutes? Because I have nothing to drink and you won't let me have your beer.
Oh, you won't let me have your beer. You didn't like it.
That's true.
Yeah, you can take a break on talking for a couple of minutes. And then I also have another topic that you can talk about.
And I wasn't even spinning, so.
No, that was the whole distraction point. It was great.
Make Jill go off on tangents about fiber.
Yeah. Make it so you're so concentrating that you can't even spin.
I have to cement my place as a Ravenclaw. People are questioning my loyalties.
We decided I was a Pudgewigeon or something.
Yeah. Pidge. It was
Pidgewigeon. I don't know.
Something. Dave will tell us.
Dave will correct us. Yeah, no, the other thing I was going to suggest you talk about is your discovery on the back of the Ply magazine.
So I went to Fiber Group last night. And so I had opened up my copy of Ply, and I read through my articles, checked out the photography, because that was what I was most excited to see. And the photography was absolutely gorgeous. What I didn't realize until going to So my fiber group is that my hand spun is on the back cover, which I wish I had a copy here to show.
Well, maybe when I'm done spinning, I can go to Finland and get it.
Yeah. I think I left a copy upstairs. I have 3 copies of this issue because you get extra copies for writing articles. So I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm still working half days at the studio, and so it's on the to-do list. I haven't been able to get to it yet. Huckwudgie.
But they decided that I'm house elf. So is house elf actually a magic house, or is it just saying I'm like an elf, a house elf? That's a big question there.
I've given you socks.
You have. I'm free now. I don't know what to do with myself.
Christopher hid Dobby in the studio today.
Did he?
Yes. I have not yet found Dobby.
So Meredith, who's one of our great friends, who is
on the YouTube
12-foot Dave over there on the YouTube channel.
She's 6 foot da.
She's 6 foot da or 6 foot V.
Yeah.
I don't know. She gave us a wonderful giant Dobby pop figure.
That gets hidden in the studio, and I bring it to some shows and hide it in the booth.
Well, originally, but you did that because she gave it to you by hiding it in the studio and waiting until you noticed.
It didn't take me long. I need to give him a sock.
No, then he'll run away. Actually, isn't he holding a plastic sock?
I think he's holding a plastic sock, but I think maybe Dobby needs a real sock.
You should knit a little sock to cover the actual sock, and then you can have like one for every month, and you could change the socks, see if people notice. Yeah, that's real nerdy.
Yeah.
He Dobby-esque.
You're Dobby-esque.
All right.
You come in and try to be helpful, and
well, there's
a
also
lot more powerful than you appear to be.
Thank you. I think.
Unpack that statement.
Yeah, that'll take a while. What are you reading?
Technically, they got Sam to hide that.
Oh, yes. All right. So this is the halfway mark, right?
Yeah.
Day 6.
Yeah. It takes 7 days to establish a habit?
Uh-oh. So what are you going to do after it's a habit?
Mm.
Hey,
torture the poor people at the end.
Incidentally, for those of you that have followed us from the beginning, the one that Jill is spinning now is the one that I spun on day 1. So now it's not a spoiler anymore?
Yeah.
And I don't know how far you can go back in. I know we didn't do YouTube on that first day.
Yeah.
But,
and I don't think you can get the Instagram Live anymore.
Oh, no.
It only holds it for 24 hours.
You lose. You'll have to go back in your memory banks of your face.
And the second half of the Spinalong is, I think, the better fiber.
Now, what's interesting is because I'm doing random, there will be one day that I'm going to roll the same number that I've rolled before.
Yeah.
But I've actually gotten every time I've rolled, I haven't had to re-roll.
What are the odds?
Wow, Jill.
I'm good.
What are the odds indeed?
Statistics homework from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. It's really that long ago.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because that's prior to comps. Yeah, about 15 years ago.
Nice. If anybody cares, I think statistics is one of the most important classes that you can ever take.
Yes.
It fits in just about every
It's useful
aspect of
for about
life,
anything.
in every field. Even if you're doing something
And everybody can lie with statistics.
no, that's not why. It's
Well, it's so that you know when other people are lying with statistics.
yeah, you can. People say you can lie with statistics, but that's only because you're doing it wrong, right? So yeah, it's just the same way as you can lie with any technobabble. If you try and trick people with it, statistics though, when
Are
done
you
right,
experienced?
am I experienced what with
Lying
with
through
technobabble?
technobabble.
Absolutely. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Is a very common phrase in physics.
As the electrical engineer working amongst all the chemists.
Yeah. I don't know. People seem to think I'm quite knowledgeable and trust what I say, which is scary to me. No, but I got my PhD in electrical engineering, and as part of that, I had to study quantum physics, and I could do the equations, and I could, get the homework done, but I had no clue what I was doing. I was just plugging and chugging until I took statistics, and then I realized, oh, that's where all this stuff comes from.
And statistics was never a mandatory class for you. You
No,
took
it never was.
statistics because I was going to take statistics. It was a chance for us to take a class together.
Actually, no, I had a statistics for engineers where when you got I believe 50% got you an A, and even down to
Was
30%
like
was
your
a passing grade.
chemistry for engineers.
That's different. I think the statistics for engineers was, I think, technically more difficult than the classic average statistics that people had to take, but it was not very well taught. The chemistry for engineers was, okay, you guys are never going to actually need to use this. So
how little did they know?
We're going to do a 1 semester course that covers 2 semesters for everybody else.
I guess University of Maryland didn't have a very strong material science
No, they didn't.
department. And their EE was not semiconductor.
I mean, they had some stuff of that, but it
wasn't very strong.
It wasn't their core.
Not like Penn State, which had a very decent material science program.
Right. We may be losing people with all our nerd.
The YouTube crowd had been excited.
Super basic statistics was folded into one of your Chem E courses. Interesting.
And I was astonished that as a biologist, I was never forced to take statistics.
Yeah, because a lot of your biology is statistics stuff too.
Yeah.
It was funny. There was an equation that Jill was using for, if I recall correctly, it was evolution.
Population genetics is all statistics.
Well, the funny thing was there was one particular equation where I'm doing my homework, and you come over and you're like, "Why are you using that equation? That's for such and such thing in population genetics."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you talking about? This is quantum tunneling." And it was the exact same equation. But okay, we
two cultures separated by a common language.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I like that. So we don't lose everybody. I have a firm belief that anybody can do anything given 2 of 3 things: time, desire, or a good teacher. All right. I don't care if you have no understanding of physics. I can teach you quantum physics if you have either the time or the desire, because I think I'm a good teacher, but maybe I'm not. Maybe you need the time and the desire.
And somebody else.
And me as a bad teacher. Either way, there is nothing that stops you from being able to understand any of that stuff.
And the same thing for fiber.
And same thing for fiber. Well, I was going to say statistics because it's so important. I'm going to recommend to everybody, there is a fantastic book called The Cartoon Guide to Statistics. It's really easy to understand, and it gives you a great understanding of the importance of the different aspects of statistics. And now we can go back to fiber. What's Dave saying? Or no? Elena D. Totally agree. And she teaches chemistry.
Well, Dave, I took 3 years of chemistry classes as a biology major, so
Yeah, and I do more chemistry than, well, no, you know what? I'm going to disagree with that now. You do chemistry on a daily basis now with your dying.
yeah.
I don't do
All
chemistry
my
anymore.
classes, all the classes I took that dealt with like pH and buffers and that kind of stuff is actually useful in my dates.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of chemistry in dyeing.
Like the only thing I remember about chemistry is in high school when I had this great teacher that nobody else could understand, but I could understand his accent. I've got parents who supposedly have a thick accent, so that apparently helped me. But he melted a test tube by accident onto a flame when he used, I think it was potassium chloride, melted that and stuck a gummy bear in it.
Yeah,
and it created a huge fire.
Exothermic.
And he was actually kind of scared himself because he melted this test tube. And then the other one was when he put pollen into a paint can with a tiny little candle and burst the pollen out and exploded the paint can, shot the lid off into the ceiling,
wide grain elevator,
bent the ceiling tile, and he was like, "Yeah, don't tell the principal." So it's my experience in chemistry. I don't remember anything about the equations. I tell people those organic chemists, they deal with those weird hexagons. I have no idea what the heck they're talking about. I think I can identify a benzene ring.
Yeah, I still remember what benzene ring is.
Hey, so I work at a paint company, right? We do research in paint and
Coatings
in general, yeah. And so, but in part of my research, I was talking about something that was related to a polar or non-polar fluid. And with a 100% straight face, I'm telling one of my colleagues, I couldn't remember if water was polar or non-polar.
Nick.
And she laughs at me, thinking I'm giving a joke. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. At which point she realized I wasn't joking. And I realized
water
now,
being polar is very important.
Yeah, for a chemist, electrical engineers, even material scientists.
I know you don't care about water very much.
Yeah, no, it's a bad thing. Let's see. Oh, there's a manga guide to statistics out there as well. Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
Yes. Did you already beat me?
I tried not to.
Oh man. There's that one time we finished at the same time, and then you're just like, nope, never again.
I talked about fleece.
Yeah, you went over to Finland for a good while in your head.
Yeah. A virtual trip to Finland.
A mental. We're gonna see if there's a VR Finland experience.
Well, there's the Iceland, right? The lava tube.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about with Finland, Jill has adopted a.
Not really, but
not really.
For comedic purposes.
For comedic purposes, the fact that Finland doesn't actually exist. And then there was a time when Jill asked me to go off and get some stuff from upstairs. And it took me so long, I told her that I took a trip to Finland. That's the story. I like stories. Oh, so now you're going to chat with people on the internet, but not share with the class.
I'm obtaining fleece.
It's an important fact. You can see.
I sometimes describe what I do as being kind of analogous to being a drug dealer, because I buy by the kilo and sell by the ounce. So.
Is there a shirt about that already? Because if
no, we need it. We have a thing that can make shirts that have designs on it.
Yep.
Make it happen.
Okay. feel like it should be a picture of a sheep, like on a mirror, with like, oh, that's what it is. Lines of yarn on a mirror. Maybe because like maybe fiber braids. I don't know. That doesn't translate very well for most people. But I'm thinking lines of hanks of yarn in rows on a mirror, like it's cocaine, because it kind of is. Let's see. Supercritical water works as a nonpolar solvent, though. Huh.
That's interesting to know.
I'll have to go and make fun of my. You know what? I'm just going to say that's why I can't remember. Are you talking about normal water or supercritical water? Yeah, no, I deserve that look. It's cool. So,
It's a good thing you're pretty.
Oh my gosh. You're getting punchy.
I have one race.
It's that time of night.
Like 6 days in a row.
Yep. I'm gonna win the beauty competition in the end.
Really?
With my fiber, yep.
Your skin is gonna be more gorgeous than mine.
Yes. I remember when I was in elementary school, I was in Cub Scouts and I joined the Pine Derby. My car was not fast, but it won the pretty prize. Seriously. It won a prize for looks.
Mm. So you're meant to be an industrial designer.
Something like that. Apparently I was meant to work with paint. Painting cars.
Mm. That's what you do?
I actually don't. The automotive business unit is not really keen on me. Some of them are, but not the head guy. That's another story. I don't like that stuff.
Dave said fast cars. Not pretty.
Dave made the fast cars. Yeah.
I didn't ever do Pinewood.
Was there any Pinewood Derby in Girl Scouts?
I wasn't in Girl Scouts.
Or whatever. Were you in Boy Scouts?
No. I did not do Scouts.
Well, that's why you wouldn't have done Pinewood Derby.
Though I was on a team that won a prize at a thing with International Science Fair for making a K'NEX rubber band powered car that would travel a certain distance and then stop.
You need to tell Adrian about that because he's still struggling on his concept of how is he going to power his vehicle for Odyssey of the Mind.
Oh.
I don't think he's thought about it in a couple of days, to be honest.
Well, he has a winter break to figure it out.
And now I'm done.
Ooh.
See, I wouldn't
Still
pretty
about
prize.
25. Being consistent.
Oh,
with
you
how
weren't
long it
saying
takes.
ooh about how pretty it was. You were saying ooh because of the timing.
Oh, it is pretty.
I thought you looked
I
at it.
made
And you're
it
like,
pretty.
ooh, it's... This is all because of you. You are amazing. Can you share the love now? All right. Still came in fourth. Oh, you with your Pinewood Derbies.
Even though it was fast.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading what Dave was saying. So, well, except the last one when I ran a block of wood as a test of how important aerodynamics were in the competition, and he still came in fourth. Yeah, I came in dead last. So apparently there was something terribly wrong I was doing. I think
So you were given a participation trophy?
no, I was given a trophy for a pretty car, damn it. Why must you destroy all my memories?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm very good at ruining your childhood.
my first, it was a ribbon. It wasn't even a trophy.
Mm.
And my first actual, maybe this is why I like statistics so much. My first actual trophy was a little tiny trophy that I got from a internal class of my current job for winning what is called the Statapult, where you had to use statistics to validate how this catapult is going to hit a target, and my team won, and that was my first actual trophy, which I have in my office. Age 30. Still. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have a box of them like you did.
I gotta remember to start pulling those out as the kids get older.
Yeah, see, now you just validated your Slytherin again. Look. I love you very much, dear. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. This has been fun. I swear we're not going to be divorced by the end of this. No, this is awesome. We're like this all the time. So thanks again. Hopefully you'll join us again tomorrow. Same spin time, same spin channel. Actually, not the same spin channel. It'll be
YouTube and Nick's Instagram.
Yeah, we go back and forth on that. So anyways, thanks again and see you soon.
So
yes, what?
Your Instagram. If people want to follow Nick, because his Instagram is also entertaining.
Why, thank you.
Is at Mr. Hipstrings.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you should follow Nick as too.
Jill announces it every now and then too.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, yes, thank you. All right.
See ya. Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye-bye. That helps.